Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. LUMEZI MP MUNIR ZULU suspended and warned against misconduct in Parliament. Chief Justice Dr. MUMBA MALILA implores judges to be accountable. Details coming through after this commercial.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
And now the media news in detail. Chief Justice Dr. MUMBA MALILA says judges and adjudicators must not be afraid to be accountable for the work they are delivering to the country. Speaking when he received reports on the performance management system for the judiciary of Zambia in Lusaka Wednesday, Dr. MALILA says the performance of adjudicators and support staff must be evaluated.
Therefore, judges and adjudicators must not be afraid to be accountable for the work they are delivering. Some way, somehow, the performance of adjudicators and support staff must be evaluated because courts are financed by public means and play an important role in the protection of the rule of law in this country and the day-to-day life of citizens, businesses, and other entities. We cannot accept that attention to results of court activities is more than just a polite gesture to the outside world. For our courts, failure to highlight performance goals and measure them would undermine the judiciary's proclaimed ability and need to govern its own affairs.
A 19-year-old Robert Zulu of Garden Compound in Lusaka, suffering from a known illness that has left him blind and unable to walk for the past 9 years, is appealing to well-wishers to assist him with a wheelchair to aid his movements.
This is Robert Zulu, a 19-year-old teenager of Garden Compound in Lusaka, who suffers from an unknown sickness that has left him blind and unable to walk for the past 9 years. He narrates to this reporter the challenges he faces just to move from one place to the other.
No kunikazi kakopa pamnea pampando so inesininga kwanise so kuyendane kaidi ne nima kondoku bauza beve bavai kutiba vai nifuno enda toilet basi nikabauza basi beve bazanyamuka bazani tenga ine bazani peleka toilet basi bazani leta futi ne kuno kunyumba.
Ruth Zulu, 26, Robert's elder sister, says her brother was born with a head condition but mysteriously became blind and was unable to walk in 2013 after the death of their mother, and she has been taking care of him since then. She also says medical reports from different hospitals have proven that there is nothing wrong with her brother, and therefore they have stopped visiting health facilities since 2017.
Number 203 Piana bado chainzi chabena ya mutu chabi 2013 in this situation pena kulako alikoyangana alikoyenda alikoshita vili vonse after the death of my mother ndepe inayamba problem hii. So cheninga pempeko mwana kumusunga nikwanisa koma cheninga pempeko ntandizo yapo nkala kozi ndiye wenvutika na eve huyu nsinga sevenze singa msiye kasachita vili vonse pema muona pa unika chesimpo. So ni machanja chabe mtu ma peace work so chabe koma tandizo tonezoenda pa UTH paka 2017 ndepe wana kama tiso na pezimu problem ilionse mezofuna mchitatiramba pancha kaya vanhu nabo akangiwa kai futi mulina mafiti no bonoza ti akaendo fitting apo futi kabwerere naye my transport nilibe kuti nende naye saka nisoenda so tinkala chabe so chabe uyu mwana sasa vera ni so chabe ukamwika pamene apo nkala mwamene alili hapa so ni so chabe kwembekeza chabe kuti no mpase vakudya manja hapa adi so chabe time yogona futi wa mnyamula futi waenda.
Meanwhile, Charity for Christians director Joshua Robert is appealing to Pentecostal churches in Zambia to reach out to the less privileged in society just as Christ did.
To get concerned about the welfare of less privileged people in society. From time to time, we watch them crying for help on TV and even see them in other places. But sometimes we just ignore and pretend as if we don't know what the scripture says about that.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News in Lusaka.
A 3-year-old girl of Ngwerere Ward 22 in Lusaka's garden compound only identifies as Ntenjua Banda, who has died in unclear circumstances. In an interview with Camnet News, neighbors narrate that the 3-year-old was only found in a bin used for storing water in the house, with the bin closed and a stool placed on top of the bin.
This is a gathering of community members in Ngwerere Ward 22 of Garden Compound in Lusaka who have come together to air their grievance over the suspected murder of a 3-year-old girl in the area who was found drowned in a household water storage bin on Tuesday. In interviews with Camnet News, the neighbors have wondered how a 3-year-old could have climbed into the water storage bin, stating that it is high and huge, adding that the lid was also found closed.
Mwana ujani mwana mungono alibechimona muntu ngati wazonda mai wa mwana nichani kuzonda mwana mungono so ari innocent utenge mwana uja umuike mudramu wavininkirapo waikapo na kastu nichoipa china chitika sitina kondwele as neighbors so ma polisi vazivevochita vachita investigate bwino kuri issue inachitika ndava inachitikira panyumba pamene.
Others have called on parents to keep an eye on their children at all times to prevent such incidents.
In our community, we need to be very careful for our children. But my message to other women is that take good care of your children. Make sure that you're always with them, or even make sure there's someone to watch over them.
Meanwhile, grandmother of the girl, who only agreed to speak off camera, has narrated the ordeal.
So ndima tengera manzi ya jatira mukamba so ari moyo mtamkicha nakamba ati maja mwameno mubini muone kamulichovala ina natasa wamena mevenzo washa tapiwa na trisha balikele wangaponye mochovala mwamena tengera manzi ya jaja mwana bwera naye so maiguru wakamba ati dekani nichuone chamene chochovala cha bwanji mwe wangenera muja mchana wafati mwana nzavala cha nzo javala chi jacket so cha brown amaigulu ande umumudram moneka muri vovala chovala chakana chaoneka kutika machoneka nchikoti so inopenda mbele mtimo wotu kutipa ndi mwana ngenera munyumba mujenende chiteso chino chidosa mbele chilemerera kuchidosa so pesa manje ni mwana shuwa mwandu.
Ngwerere Ward 22 Councillor Mr. Adrian Banda has called for calm in the community, stating that the matter has been reported to the police, who say they are investigating.
Tenjiwe Banda, aged 3, drowned in a 110 liters plastic drum containing water. This occurred yesterday around 06 hours at the reporter's house in the kitchen. Brief facts surrounding the matter are that the reporter woke up the deceased around 05 hours to prepare her for school. While she went to sweep outside the house, she left the child inside the house. Together with her daughter, female Cynthia Banda, who is the mother to the deceased, they searched for the deceased and discovered her in the plastic container with water.
Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Independent LUMEZI constituency member of Parliament MUNIR ZULU has been slapped with 10 days suspension from Parliament for threatening to grab the Speaker's mass from the sergeant and arms. Members of Parliament Wednesday heard how Mr. ZULU in March this year threatened the Chief Parliamentary Security Officer and Sergeant-at-Arms by saying there was a lot of stupidity at Parliament and that enough security was to be enforced because there was going to be a feast fight that day.
LUMEZI member of Parliament MUNIR ZULU was Wednesday slapped with a 10-day suspension from Parliament, including suspension from drawing any allowances from the August House and performing any duties as a member of Parliament for his constituency. This follows a point of order that was raised on 23 March 2022 by Katombola member of Parliament Camnet Andelike, who wanted to find out whether Mr. ZULU was in order to make running commentaries and threatened the Chief Parliamentary Security Officer and Sergeant-at-Arms by stating that she would need adequate security to handle him. Mr. Andelike further stated that the conduct exhibited by Mr. ZULU was in conflict with parliamentary etiquette and decorum, and that if it remained unregulated, it would bring the name of the House into disrepute. And Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Moti, said several witnesses were called to clarify if the point of order raised by Mr. Andelike was indeed true.
She submitted that Mr. M. ZULU MP then began making movements simulating a boxer, which prompted her to request him to stand still and ask if there was a problem. She stated that it was at that moment that the honorable member threatened her in vernacular, translated as follows, and I quote, "There is a lot of stupidity here at Parliament. You should call enough security as there will be a feast fight here today," end of quote. She further stated that when she asked him who he would fight with, he responded that she should just call enough security because he would start by grabbing the Speaker's mess.
The Speaker further told members of Parliament that after considering the written and oral submissions of the parties and witnesses, the Committee on Privileges and Absences established several factors.
Threatening to grab the mess, which was the symbol of the Speaker's authority, he had committed grave misconduct. 2. This was the second time he had been found in breach of the rules of the House. 3. At the time of the incident complained of, the Honorable Madam First Deputy Speaker was rendering a ruling against him, which showed that he was unrepentant. 4. He had denied the allegation and wasted the committee's time. 5. He had not expressed any remorse for his conduct. And 6. He was a new member of Parliament and therefore was still in the process of learning the rules of the House.
The Speaker then asked members of Parliament to vote whether Mr. ZULU should be sent out of Parliament or not, and according to the vote, the aye took the day, which saw Mr. ZULU being suspended for 10 days starting today, Wednesday, 27th July 2022.
The matter has been resolved in the affirmative. You, Mr. M. ZULU, MP, are suspended from the service of the National Assembly for 10 days. The suspension is with immediate effect from today, Wednesday, 27th July, to Friday, 5th August 2022.
Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. LUMEZI MP MUNIR ZULU suspended and warned against misconduct in Parliament. Chief Justice Dr. MALILA implores judges to be accountable. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.